Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Dante here. Today I've got some Club 100 endurance footage from the final round ever. There's no Club 100 endurance next year, which is a shame. It was a great championship and very much look to do it again next year if it existed, but it doesn't, which is a shame. But what that meant was we were met with a lot of teams in this final one, old faces, new faces, regular faces, you name it. It was a proper all-star grid, so many good drivers in it, good teams. We were met with a very wet Buckmore, which is tricky because, you know, Buckmore has a lot of turns, a lot of different surfaces as well. So there's a lot to think about, very difficult to be consistent, and no one was perfect throughout the day. Everyone made mistakes. In fact, some top drivers even spinning as well. So yeah, a lot of drivers found it hard. We were very privileged to get pole position in this one, managed to get a good lap in the last lap of qualifying, but it was still so far from the potential. I mean, sector 3, as you could see from the results, was miles off from some of the other better teams, the best teams. And yeah, my teammate and I, Sam Lovelace, we did struggle with this car turning left specifically, but everything else was fine. So it was just a matter of trying to find a way to adapt to the car and make it turn left the way we want it to, but otherwise, you know, it was something we could work with, absolutely. This is the moment when Steve Brown got past me then. Obviously Steve Brown, also known as Super GT, who's not unknown to Club 100 at all. He's used to be a regular before my time, really. But yeah, it was kind of good to follow someone around who could expose my weak areas. And you can see straight away in the left-handers here, just not really able to stick with. We just couldn't really lean on the outside of the car through those left-handers. So much understeer, so the style had to change, and I managed to fix that up a little bit throughout stint 1 and a few other line changes as well. So I did do stint 1, then Sam Lovelace did stint 2, and then I jumped back in for stint 3. And stint 3 was considerably better. I mean, my driving was probably some of the best driving I've ever done. We managed to average a second a lap faster than anyone else on the circuit at that time. And the conditions were more difficult, so we managed to set the fastest lap in that stint when the conditions were even more poor, really. So that was really good, a really good confidence boost. And the only way that was possible was by following people like Steve to see where I could improve. So, you know, it doesn't matter how much you know, there's always more you can learn and do, especially when you do other types of karting as well. You learn more about the sport in general, how to drive, different techniques and everything like that. And that's why outdoor karting is so good as well. You get dry, damp, wet, and different styles are always required, different ways of driving. And in the wet, it's all about confidence. So if you manage to do well in the wet, then you really do build up your confidence. You can see Steve has dropped me a little bit here, especially when we went through those left-handers. But it goes, you know, we go back and forth, really. We close up, drop back, close back, close up, drop back. So it makes for a good watch, really, for however much footage I choose to put in here. But yeah, it was good fun. On the times when I do catch up, and sometimes it looks like he's holding me up, it didn't really make sense. You can see we were very good through sector 2 here. We just went to and fro so much, it just didn't really make sense to make any risks. And you know, it was a good start. As long as we're somewhere near the top, then it makes for a good race. Unfortunately, we had a penalty to serve from the previous round. Basically, if you do well at the previous round, if you come top 2, you have to serve a time penalty. Just because, you know, a success penalty, if you like, which is a rule I've never really liked, but there you go, we had to serve it. So yeah, I'm going to leave you with this then, just kind of in pursuit with Super GT for the rest of this video, and you can see the areas kind of where I improve and not improve. Not going to really go into detail of what I did differently. I save all my tips and tricks on my website, dantedillon.com. Take a look if you're interested. But otherwise, enjoy the rest of this video, and I hope you have a wonderful end to 2024. See you later.